Trying to stay in the middle. Hello, everybody. It's Tom here. I hope you're all well. Today, I want to talk about how just being okay or just being in the middle is a good place to be, and why I feel that is a good place to be. So, to put it very bluntly and very shortly, at some point in my life, my reaction to things was too extreme. I would get high too quickly and therefore get low far too quickly as well. I think to really sort of cope with life's challenges, you have to try and take things in your stride. And yes, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying for one second there isn't moments when um, something comes out of nowhere and it just knocks you for six, and your emotional response is higher than perhaps what it usually is. There's going to be moments in life when something happens, somebody gets hurt or worse, that affects you more than the next thing. But what I'm trying to say is we have to get to a place in life, I think, sometimes where our reaction and response is less. Even if we're faking it to try and make it, we are not reacting as much emotionally, perhaps, to a situation because we feel we've got to. Example, you know, it's a funny example, but you'll laugh. If you want to stay focused on something, I think the best way forward is to be very neutral with your response. Taking things in your stride, taking things one day at a time, I think validates not having much reaction to things that are going on. So, something bad happens, you can feel sad, but you don't become sad, you don't stay sad. Yeah? If something good happens, you don't revel in the hype of it for too long. Yeah? Your feeling emotions is all well and good. I would absolutely 100% say feel the emotion. But as I've been told before by, you know, people who are kind of more sort of spiritual, feel the emotion but don't become it. And there's a big difference. There's a difference between being depressed about something and becoming depressed. Becoming depressed is being stuck in that rut, being stuck in that sadness, and not being able to come out of it no matter what you do. Being depressed, being upset and fed up or whatever for a while can be a natural reaction to something, and it can be all right. It can be something that passes. Although some would argue depression is not a phase, it really isn't. It's a very prolonged thing that you can stay in for years. And I can honestly say from experience, it's not something that goes away. It's something that perhaps gets easier with time and acceptance, and you just learn to deal with it. So the message here today is very clear. For myself, my emotional reaction now to things is very minimal. Some would say I come across as really chill and unbothered about everything. It's not the case. I am bothered and I do care. But I'm not, my output to it now is to care less and to react less. And I think that's the best way. It's certainly been the best way for me. You know, when I was going from one extreme to another, that wasn't a good place to be in, because in your moments of sadness or absolute elation, intelligence is low, focus is non existent almost. And, you know, if you're wanting to get through challenge and through life successfully, sometimes the best way is to focus one bit of a day at a time, one thing at a time. And that is the best way, particularly when you've got depression as well, because everything seems speeded up. Your life seems to be going at 120 miles an hour. The only way you can get through that is to try and slow things down, slow things down with your thoughts, slow things down with your reactions. I have slowed everything down, and that's how I come to this level now. Whereas I don't get too high and I try not to get too low. And somewhere in the middle is just okay. And for anybody that's struggling out there, I would try and say to you, try and get to that place. It's not an easy place to get to, it takes a lot. Try and become very neutral in your response, very neutral in reaction. Try not to lose your temper easily. Try not to get sad easily. Try not to be the other end of the spectrum, jumping for joy, elated, boasting all the time. The extremes are no good places to be. Yes, there are moments where there should be immense happiness, and there will be times in life where there will be very big sadness. What I'm getting at is don't dwell there too long and don't become in that state permanently. Yes, expect that life and your emotions is a spectrum. Try and keep the jump from one extreme to the other a bit smaller. It served me well, and I believe it can serve you well. That's it. Guys, third and final video of the week. I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. I really appreciate your time and energy spent here on my channel. Thank you kindly. Third and final video of the week. Please put down in this comment section below. What is your take on this? Do you think it's okay to be a bit more neutral with the way you react to things? Do you believe that it's okay to go from wildly one extreme to another? Personally, it doesn't serve me anymore. It was a part of my life for years. And I feel that perhaps the best place for me is to be somewhere in the middle, and as comfortably in the middle, safe, should we say. Not getting too up or down, because up or down is extremes, and extremes can't be good. Please, if you would, consider giving me hitting that subscribe button down below. That'd be really great. As well, if you would consider, please, giving me a thumbs up and a like. I'd really appreciate it. And please hear that bell sign go ding dong so you know when my next content's out. I'll be back next week with another 3 videos. But as always, please take care of yourself, and bye for now.